It's no secret that Manchester United need midfielders, that Manchester United's priority in the transfer window will be midfielders, and that Baleba, Anderson, and Wharton are our three biggest targets ahead of the summer. I think everybody knows that. We're going to talk about why Manchester United need two elite midfielders, what Manchester United's plans are, but there's now some pressure on Wilcox and Vivel to deliver. INEOS under pressure to get Manchester United a top midfielder, as we need European football. We've fallen down the money table, we've fallen down the Delight money table, and pressure is on. They must deliver a good midfielder. Manchester United have got to stay in Europe. We're not going to have loads of money with current seasons out of Europe. We must get the window right. We're going to talk about that new story, a new Baleba price. Baleba's price has gone down. Baleba's price tag has gone down. It looks like some positive news there and a more affordable price tag. I'm going to talk about Benjamin Cesco and a few thoughts and feelings ahead of the Arsenal game. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into a 10-minute video for you guys. If you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. You're welcome to subscribe if you're new and want daily Manchester United updates on YouTube. Let's get into the first story, a story that we know we've been told a million times. We're not going to spend too much time on it. Man United's midfield. United's hierarchy have three marquee midfield targets: Baleba, Wharton, Anderson. We've been told that a million times. We know that. Wharton and Baleba would be most likely, as there's growing belief Anderson would snub United for a move to City. I mean, I've said that. Anderson wants City. If Man City have a bad end to the season, we have a good end to the season, we get Champions League football, I think we can beat City to Anderson if we get Champions League football, if we look good on carrick. Because you've got to remember, Pep's going to leave City at the end of the season, most likely. We don't know for sure, though, but there's a feeling he's fallen out with the owners. There's a rumour of that. I don't know how true that is, but there's a feeling Pep could leave City. City looking hit and miss. If we get Champions League football and go on a good run under carrick, Anderson is possible, but to be honest, I think we get Baleba. Now, there's questions over Baleba's drop in form. We're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to talk about that later on with Baleba's price tag now dropping. I think Anderson's going to go to City. But I think we've got to go for Baleba and Wharton. Man United need to get two of these. Man United need three midfielders, and two of them need to be two of these three. I will say that now. The third midfielder could be a João Gomez. It could be someone we're going to talk to in a second, a Muzakitis, Bawadi. But United need two top-level, proven midfielders. If you cannot get them, these guys, you maybe look at a Manu Kone. I think Manu Kone is a fantastic player, but you've got to get two of these players for me. I am not against Man United saying, you know what, we're going to literally buy two elite midfielders, a good left wing, and a third decent midfielder, and call that a transfer window. Even though I think we need a left back and another centre back for depth, if we can get a left winger and two elite midfielders and a third midfielder that's a prospect, I'm happy with that. Now, talking of prospects, these I think are really good options as a third midfield option, and that's Bawadi and Muzakitis. These are two of the best rising stars in football. And Nathan Salt, who is a very, very good journalist when it comes to Manchester United, has said that United, are interested. Man United are aware of these two prospects and could be interested in them. I think we get two big midfielders and we get a prospect like that. I look at Liverpool. They had a bad season. They went to sign four midfielders: Endo, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai. Man United need a four midfielder window. Man United need an Anderson, a Wharton, a Muzakitis, and potentially, if Bruno goes, a Cole Palmer type window. Now, hopefully, I don't think we'll get Cole Palmer, but hopefully Bruno doesn't go. But we need three midfielders. Casemiro and Agate are gone. We need a Baleba. We need an Anderson. And we need maybe Muzakitis. And depending on if Bruno goes, we might need a fourth midfielder. I'm hoping Bruno doesn't go. I don't think Palmer's an upgrade on Bruno. I think Palmer's a downgrade on Bruno. I don't think we're going to find anyone that's an upgrade on Bruno. I think he's the best number 10 in the world. But, yeah, we're going to talk about Muzakitis, but then I want to talk about the pressure that's on INEOS to get a midfielder. So I saw this tweet by Rising Gems. Now, this is a really long tweet, and I've only used the first 3 sections of this tweet, so feel free to check out the full tweet. But they described Muzakitis as a serious talent. In terms of playing style, he thrives in a central midfield role, often as a deep-lying playmaker or an energetic number 8 who bridges defence and attack seamlessly. He's got an eye for progressive passes, breaking the line with crisp accurate balls from deep and isn't afraid to carry the ball forward under pressure. His movement off the ball is intelligent. He positions himself well to receive in the half space, creating overload and exploiting gaps in the oppositional setup. I think he's a very good young player from what I've seen. I've not seen a lot. He's been linked to Real Madrid, but he looks very good on the ball. He looks very press resistant. He looks very tactically intelligent, and his passing range has been very good. I think he could operate as a controlling 6 or an energetic 8, and I think that's a good profile to have. Now let's continue on into obviously Bawadi. Bawadi is another player that we've been linked with, a very good, talented young player at Nil. He looks very press resistant. His passing range is good. He looks very good on the ball, aggressive on the ball, and he looks like he could read the game well. And I think his physical ceiling is very, very good as well. So I like both young players that we've been linked to. I think they're both good options. And look, I'm open to United even looking at one of these in January. I think, look, if you can't get Anderson, Morton, Baleba in January, which are your first two choices, why don't you look at a third choice like a Bawadi or Muzakitas, get him in January. A João Gomez, get him in January. INEOS have to get this right. There is real pressure on INEOS to get the likes of the likes of Director of Football Wilcox and Director of Recruitment Vivel to get this midfield overhaul right. There's a lot of pressure on Wilcox and Vivel. You got to get this right from Jim. You got to get this right from the Glazers. That's what they're getting. With United failing in the money league and paying the price for a season without Europe, we cannot afford to make a series of expensive mistakes. We need to get European football this season to give us budget to actually do something in the summer. But we need to make sure that the midfielders we bring in are going to get us European Champions League football next season. We need to get Champions League football next season. We ideally could get Champions League football this season. That'd be great. Europa League will do enough. We need to get Europa League this season, Champions League next season at bare minimum. And we need to make sure those midfielders we bring in can do that. We need to get it right. There's pressure on United to deliver. There's pressure on United to get it right because we are falling down the money league. The worse and worse we are, the less and less money we're going to make. And we still make a lot of money considering we're not in Europe and we're 15th. But we want to compete with those at the top. We need to be making as much money and we need to be investing the money we make into the team to make the team better. And then we'll make even more money. And the Glazers can make more money at the club if we actually perform better on the pitch. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that story, but now I want to talk about this new Baleba price tag. Nathan Salt has said loads today, so definitely go check out his full article. Really good journalist. He said United are understood to be less concerned than some supporters with Baleba's dip in form after his displays at AFCON proved a timely reminder of his capabilities. I think he's a little bit out of it at Brighton. He doesn't want to be there. There is concerns in his drop in form at Brighton. Could that happen at Man United if he loses confidence? I need him to end the season well for Brighton. Even if that puts his price tag up, I need him to end the season well for Brighton. That's why I want Elliot Anderson over him right now. There is a feeling Brighton will cash in come June and Baleba will be on the move with a price tag north of 60 million, likely close to 75 million. I just think the 65 million for Semenyo, put it on Baleba right now. Put it on Baleba in the January window. They won't do that. Brighton probably won't accept that anyway. But Baleba being 60, 70 million, that's more realistic. He's not a 100 million player. You ain't going to get 100 million for him. He's a 60, 70 million player. Elliot Anderson, if he's going for 80, then Baleba isn't even homegrown, hasn't been as good as Anderson, is the same age. Baleba probably goes for 65, 70 at max. There's rumours that Anderson will be 80. I wanted to talk about Benjamin Cesco because obviously he got 3 goals in the last 2 games and he didn't feature in the Manchester derby. What's been said on that? And it's more that Cesco's just working really hard, training hard. Of course, he was disappointed not to play, but he's in good form. And I think there were some really interesting comments that Cesco had made. And an inside source said this about Cesco. He's the most dedicated young player I've ever seen. There's one thing about having a good young talent, but you need a good young talent with dedication. And I think if you've got dedication, that's so important. And Cesco has that. I want Cesco to score against Arsenal because Arsenal looked at Cesco. It's the Cesco versus Gyökeres game. I need a Cesco masterclass. Humble Victor Gyökeres. Yes, please. But last but not least, we play Arsenal tomorrow. We're at the Emirates. That's not good. If we're at Old Trafford, I fancy us at the Emirates. I don't. We haven't beat Arsenal in the league in a long time. We haven't won at the Emirates in the league since 2017. Arsenal have battered Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid and Villa when they're on their 13-game winning streak at home. I don't think we've got any chances of winning this game. But if Carrick wants to deliver a masterclass, I'm all for it. I think Arsenal at home are nearly impossible to beat. They haven't lost a game at home this season, so I am worried, but I'm interested to see what Carrick does. I'm excited. And guys, I want to know what your front three would be. Do we drop Dorgu? I don't think you can. But then Cunha was really good when he came on, and Cesco scored 3 goals and 2, but then Mbumo scored. Who plays striker? Who plays left? For me, Ahmad plays on the right. I'd put Mbuma on the left, and it's between Cunha and Cesco who goes in the middle, but I feel bad dropping Dorgu. It's so hard to know what to do. Let me know your thoughts down below on this match. Thank you for watching. Bye.